Hi, fifth grade. Today's math lesson is lesson 4.2, and it is over multiplying with fives and zeros. This is really going to be just kind of a review of what we were already doing yesterday using that zeros trick when we're multiplying, and then I'll let you get started on your assignment. So we'll go through our notes and our practice pretty quick. First, I want to practice with our power of 10 again. Yesterday, remember, we learned about exponents kind of for the first time. So I'm going to go over just a few of those to make sure we're practicing those again, but you won't see them on your assignment today. We're going to practice for several days before they will show up on our homework. So let's start with number 1. They're giving us 7 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, and they would like for us to write it using our powers of 10 and our exponents. So we see that we're taking 7 times, and we want to put all of this as a power of 10 with an exponent. So I see that all of these are 10s, so I know my big number is going to be a 10. And then to figure out my exponent, remember that tells me how many 10s there are. So count up. What would my exponent be to show that? It would be a 5. So it would be 10 to the power of 5 because there are 5 10s that we are multiplying. Let's try another one with number 2. We have 5 times 10 times 10. Well, the 5 is by itself, so 5 times, and then I want to take the rest of this and write it as a power of 10 using those exponents. How would I write 10 times 10 as a power of 10 using my exponents? Well, they're both a 10, and remember my exponent tells me how many, and there's 2 of them. So 5 times 10 to the power of 2. Alrighty, let's go down here and work with some exponents. On number 3, we have 14 times 10 to the power of 4. Remember, we're using that zeros trick, so cover up that 0. 14 times 1 is just 14. And then my power of 10, my exponent, tells me how many zeros. So how many zeros do I need to add behind my 14? 4 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I need to get my comma in the right place. It should go right here, 140,000. Let's try another one with number 4. We have 523 times 10 to the power of 2. I'm going to cover up my 0. 523 times 1 is just 523. And then I'm paying attention to my exponent. It tells me the power, tells me how many zeros I need. So I need to add 2 zeros on behind that. So that would be 52,300. Making sure I get my comma in the right place. And one more example here with our powers of 10. 65 times 10 to the power of 3. Covering up that 0. 65 times 1 is just 65. And then I use that exponent to help me. How many zeros do I need to add? 3 of them, which means my comma needs to go right here, 65,000. Nice job. We're getting pretty good with those powers of 10, I feel like, so keep practicing with those. Then we're going to scooch on down and just do some more examples using that zeros trick. Now it also says multiplying with fives. Yesterday we were doing lots of different numbers. Today you're going to see different numbers, but you're also going to see a lot of fives because that's particularly what they want us to practice. So number 1, 50 times 40. I'm going to cover up those zeros. You can either do it with your fingers or kind of just in your mind. What am I left with when I cover up my zeros? 5 times 4, which is 20. So I write that down. And then how many more zeros do I need to add? 2, because there were 2 zeros up there. So that would be 2,000, putting my comma where it needs to go. Now that one seems tricky because if I look up here, it seems that my answer should just have 2 zeros. But 5 times 4 is 20, which also has a 0. So don't get tricked up on there. Make sure that you write down your answer first and then add the extra zeros from there. Number 2, 50 times 50. Covering up my zeros gives me 5 times 5, which is 25. How many zeros then do I add on to the end of 25? 2 of them, because there are 2 zeros up there. So that would be 2,500. Really watching for those commas where they need to go. Number 3, 5 times 20. Covering up my zeros gives me 5 times 2. 5 times 2 is 10. How many extra zeros need to be added onto the end? 1 more. So that's another tricky one. 5 times 2 already had a 0, but then I add another 0 for what was up there. Number 4, 500 times 800. Whoa, lots of zeros. Cover those up. That gives me 5 times 8, which is 40. Oh, this is going to be another tricky one. So there's already 1 0, but we don't worry about that. We add on however many extras we need. So I need to add 4 extras because there are 4 zeros up here. So count them as you write them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I would put my comma right here to make it 400,000. Okay, so we have to be really careful when our answer already has a 0 that we add on the right amount of zeros after that too. 5 through 8 are the same, but they're just stacked up, so they look a little bit different, but we do the same thing. So number 5, cover up those zeros. That gives us 6 times 5, and that is 30. How many more zeros do I need to add? 2. So that would be 3,000, getting that comma in there where it needs to go. By the time we're in 5th grade, our commas should be where they're supposed to be, so make sure that you add them where they're supposed to be. Number 6, covering up my 0, gives me 8 times 5, which is 40. How many more zeros do I need to add? 1 more. So 400. Number 7, cover up those zeros, gives me 9 times 5, which is 45. I covered up 2 zeros, so I'm going to add 2 zeros back here. 4,500. Covering up my 0 gives me 7 times 5, which is 35. I only covered up 1 0, so add it back here, 350. Hopefully you're getting the hang of those. Just be careful not to go too quick because you'll make silly mistakes. All right, a couple of word problems here. Number 9, Mount K is the tallest mountain in Maine. It is about 5,000 feet tall. Mount McKinley is the tallest mountain in the United States. It is 4 times as tall as Mount K. About how tall is Mount McKinley? How would I figure out how tall Mount McKinley is with the information they have given me? Well, I would take 5,000 because that's Mount K, and it says that Mount McKinley is 4 times as tall. So I'm going to times it by 4. Using that zeros trick will help me. Cover all those up. I just have 5 times 4. I know that's 20, so I'm write down 20. And then how many more zeros do I need to add? 3 more because I had covered up 3 there. So 20,000. And I need one more thing since I'm doing a word problem. Feet tall. Mount McKinley would be 20,000 feet tall. That is a very tall mountain. All right, and one more here. Ernesto and his sister Dora are playing a computer game. Ernesto has earned 200 points so far. His sister has earned 50 times as many points. How many points has Dora earned? Man, Dora is kicking booty at this game. Ernesto doesn't look like he's so good. Ernesto has earned 200 points. Dora has earned 50 times as many. So we're going to times by 50. Dora is doing way better than Ernesto. Cover up those zeros. That gives me a 2 times 5, which I know is 10. And then how many more zeros do I need to add on? 3 of them because I had 3 covered up with my fingers. Wow. Dora has 10,000, what would my label be? Points. Dora has 10,000 points in the game, and Ernesto only has 200. Whoa. Alrighty, so still using those tricks when we're multiplying. Make sure you use a multiplication chart if you need to, if you don't know your multiplication facts yet, and do your very best on the assignment. Bye!